Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. I hope everyone's doing well. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Luke and I do perfume reviews. And if you happen to be a returning subscriber, welcome back. Please go ahead, give this video a like, post a comment. I always respond and I love chatting with you in the comments. And without further ado, let's get into the video. Today I'm talking about a very special fragrance, and this is YSATIS de Givenchy from 1984. And let me tell you something, some scents are forever, and this is one of them for me personally. It has everything that I love in a perfume. It's an old school French perfume. It's a loud, opulent scent. It packs a punch. It's a grand vintage classic. It's got my favourite notes like tuberose, ylang ylang, honey, civet. And it's also very nostalgic for me because I first tried it in London in 2010 and I still remember where I tried it and I remember loving it. It was love at first sniff, even though I knew it was supposed to be a vintage fragrance, an old-fashioned fragrance. But I did love it. I loved it at first sniff. I didn't buy it back then, but I bought it a couple of years later. And it has always been in my collection. This is a vintage bottle. This is not the newest formula, which I also had, and I'm not the biggest fan of, I have to admit. I only like the vintage formula. You can still find it on eBay for, I don't know. It is overpriced, but it's not crazy expensive like some discontinued fragrances like Midnight Poison and so on. Ysatis was created in 1984 by master perfumer Dominique Ropion, who also created a bunch of other amazing perfumes like Ask de Givenchy and many, many others, including Carnal Flower from the house of Frederic Malle. But let's stay focused on Ysatis. Ysatis is classified as a floral chypre. It's an 80s powerhouse perfume. However, I wouldn't say it's entirely a chypre. It's a floral, woody, aldehydic perfume. It's also very powdery, very musky, very animalic, all of the above. I would say if I had to classify it, I would classify it as a floral oriental chypre. And just imagine equal amounts of all three of these categories, because it is a very complex fragrance and it's very hard to categorize. So let's just say it's an oriental floral chypre with a prominent animalic accord in the base. Ysatis opens with aldehydes, ylang ylang, orange blossom, bergamot, mandarin orange, some coconut, some other citruses. In the heart, you get all the flowers, the strongest one being tuberose, at least in my opinion. I can also smell some narcissus, carnation, maybe even the note of rum, which is also listed in the perfume pyramid, in the notes. And then in the base notes, you get civet, which is the strongest base note in my opinion. And then you also get honey, lots of oak moss, lots of woody notes like sandalwood. And you also get amber, patchouli, just your usual suspects, some musk, some vanilla, and there's also a laurel leaf note, which gives it a bit of an aromatic touch. However, it's not really strong. And of course, some amber and spices. As you can see, this is what one would call everything but the kitchen sink kind of fragrance, because it does have probably more than 20 different notes. But the main note I can smell is tuberose, civet, honey, and of course, and some ylang ylang as well. I would say it's equally white floral and yellow floral. And it also does come across as sweet. And the sweetness in this perfume does not come from vanilla, in my opinion. It comes from the flowers and from the honey. And then you also get a very nice chypre base, which consists mainly of oak moss. And it does make the perfume a bit more grounded, I guess. And it prevents it from going into the overly sweet floral territory. It still has a very pleasant honeyed floral sweetness that you can smell from the opening to the final dry down. This perfume is incredibly potent. If you don't own it, I mean the vintage version of course, you cannot even imagine how strong this is. If you spray 2 sprays of this, each on one of your wrists, and leave it for 24 hours, 24 hours later, you'll be able to smell Ysatis on your wrists, even if you take a shower. This is one of the strongest perfumes in my collection, and for that reason, it's one that my family absolutely hates. Whenever I wear this, I get the most horrible comments. Let's call them anti-compliments. And it really sort of discouraged me from wearing this fragrance around them. However, I do still wear it. Maybe it's a good thing because I don't wear it as much as I would want to. And I won't be running out of it anytime soon. So that's a good thing, because when I run out of this 50ml bottle, I will have to start searching for a new one, a new vintage one on eBay. So let's return to the notes. Ysatis, as I said, is a beautiful sweetened tuberose, ylang ylang, honey, with lots of warmth from the civet and musk. You get this creamy floriental sweetness that comes from the flowers and from the honey. Ysatis is sensual, it's sunny, it's warm, it's, dare I say, summery. It's definitely not a summer fragrance, but it does smell tropical and summery because of that ylang ylang, because of the tuberose. It does, the white and yellow florals make it smell just a little tropical. The sweetness in this perfume is a classic sort of sweetness that comes from the flowers. It's not a gourmand. Definitely not a gourmand, even though I've seen some reviews where people describe Ysatis as one of the first gourmand fragrances, which I think couldn't be more inaccurate. So what vibe does this fragrance give me when I spray it on? It's opulent, it's sophisticated, incredibly classy, incredibly elegant, and incredibly refined. It smells absolutely luxurious, in my opinion. It smells like old money. It smells like $1 million. And I know that's such a cliche, but I really associate Ysatis with smelling like $1 million. You will smell like $1 million if you wear Ysatis. And if you log on to the Givenchy website and read the description of this fragrance, you will see that they market it as a fragrance with 1,000 facets, not 1 million, 1,000 facets. And you will also learn that it was named after Isolde, as in Tristan and Isolde, and Isis, one of the most important ancient Egyptian goddesses. She was the goddess of healing and magic. And if you take those two names and combine them, you get Ysatis. So Isolde and Isis, Ysatis, or Ysatis, if you pronounce it properly. So let's say a bit about the reformulation. Fortunately, there's nothing quite like the vintage. If you want to experience Ysatis in its full glory, you have to get a vintage bottle. If you get the new bottle, the one that comes in a generic looking bottle, it doesn't look like a skyscraper anymore. Everything looks generic nowadays. And perfume, in my opinion, is art, and it should come in beautiful bottles. If you put a perfume in a generic-looking bottle, okay, it's minimalist, it's clean-looking, but it doesn't do a perfume like Ysatis justice. So I suggest that you avoid the newest version, and if you can, acquire a vintage bottle. It doesn't have to be the one with the silver cap, the one I have. It can also be the one with a clear cap, or the one with a sprayer and a clear cap, so the one that was discontinued maybe 2 years ago and replaced with a generic-looking bottle. Ysatis is a scent that is most nighttime appropriate. It's also very mysterious and seductive, just like the woman named Ysatis, arriving at a Venetian masquerade party in the gondola. If you watch the advertisement, you'll see what I'm talking about. And everyone can smell her, and everyone keeps asking, where is Ysatis? Who is she? And she keeps hiding behind that beautiful mask she's got on her face. So Ysatis really is a mysterious fragrance. It has an air of mystery for sure. I would say this is more sophisticated than Poison. This is more sophisticated than Cocoa. Especially the new formula of Cocoa is not as sophisticated as it used to be. And another thing that Ysatis has that's so typical of the 1980s is that strong musk note. Ysatis is very musky. I mean, it's not only musky, it's also animalic, but the musk is also very strong. And when you smell it in the air, you can tell it's a musky fragrance. And I think the same kind of musk you can find in a perfume called Paris, which of course everyone knows because it's such a classic. And I also really like Paris, but it's just a bit too rosy, too powdery for me. Okay, I've been talking for 12 minutes. I didn't expect for this review to be 12 minutes long, but I guess I had a lot to say about it. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you liked this video. Please leave a comment, like this video. Let me know if you like Ysatis. Let me know if you hate Ysatis, like my family. I hope to see you in one of my next videos. Until next time, bye.